Hey everybody, welcome back around to the Blog and Grill. I'm your host Doug here with your video blog for September 22nd, 2014. We have a lot to get to today. We're going to talk Hunt for October, NASCAR at New Hampshire, college football, but first let's get to the NFL. Week number 3, it was quite the week in the NFL, as we have seen most of the weeks thus far. My picks thus far, 4-0, rolling right now, and we'll see what happens with the Monday night game tonight, which we'll get to in just a minute. All right, we got 2 minutes. We're going to go around the shield. Cincinnati, Andy Dalton catches the touchdown pass. Cincinnati beats the Tennessee Titans 33-7. They move to 3-0. Pittsburgh dominates Carolina in the run game as they take down the Panthers 37-19. Seattle wins on an overtime touchdown by Marshawn Lynch 26-20 over the Denver Broncos. Miami's quarterback Ryan Tannehill throws under 50% on his completions. Kansas City and Niles Davis run over the Dolphins 34-15. The Cardinals and Drew Stanton take down Colin Kaepernick and the 49ers 23-14. Phillip Rivers and the Chargers keep it rolling on the road as they take down the Bills 22-10. Dallas overcomes a 21-0 deficit. Tony Romo throws for 2 touchdowns, including a 66-yard bomb to Dez Bryant. Dallas beats the Rams 34-31. Philadelphia comes back once again. They take down Kirk Cousins and the Redskins 37-34. Philly is now 3-0. Arizona is also 3-0. Giants get their first win of the year as they take down Ryan Fitzpatrick and the Houston Texans 30-17. New Orleans survives a late push by Teddy Bridgewater and the Vikings as the Saints get the win 20-9. Baltimore beats Cleveland on a late field goal as time expires by Justin Tucker. They get the win 23-21. Detroit shuts down Aaron Rodgers in that pass attack of the Packers. They beat the Green Bay 19-7. Indianapolis all over Jacksonville 44-17. Tom Brady doesn't look great, but the defense of the Patriots does as New England beats Oakland 16-9. And of course, our Thursday night game, Atlanta all over Tampa Bay 56-14. And tonight we have our Monday night game, Chicago at the Jets. I like Chicago in this one. I think they're going to be playing pretty well coming off that big win against the 49ers. Look for the Jets defense to kind of struggle against all the weapons. I will pick the Bears to win the game, and I'll take the Bears 27-23. All right, so remaining unbeatens. Who is the best of the remaining unbeatens in the NFL? We have the Eagles at 3-0, Cards at 3-0, and Bengals all at 3-0. I'm going to take in this one, I think the Bengals have probably looked the best out of the 3. Bengals really putting up some good offensive numbers. Cards offense not quite there. Eagles defense not quite there. I think the Bengals have the best personnel in the league and best personnel of the unbeatens and could really make a run to be a remaining unbeaten in the National Football League. They have a bye this week, then they'll take on the Patriots up in Foxborough. College football, my picks, not bad this weekend. I went 3-2. I'm 8-12 overall, trying to get back to the 500 mark. Just some quick storylines that were the big storylines this past weekend. The big one has to be Florida State. They get the win over Clemson, but the biggest story was Jameis Winston, once again showing some questionable character. He actually dressed for the game, full pads, came out and was warming up. I think this shows that just Jameis Winston is still not getting it. He's benched. He still thinks he can warm up. He comes out, warms up, and just really makes Florida State look foolish. The other big storyline has been Amari Cooper of the Alabama Crimson Tide. Cooper, in the win over Florida, had 10 catches for 201 yards and 3 touchdowns, and that puts his numbers on the season. The guy already has 43 catches for 655 yards and 5 touchdowns. Amari Cooper could be putting himself into a Heisman candidate for sure, at least a Heisman finalist. We'll take a look at our Heisman update on Wednesday. All right, top 4 in college football remain the same. I think Florida State still has to be considered the top-ranked team, especially when your redshirt freshman quarterback comes in and gets a win. Oregon, I think, could have been number 1, but they didn't play great against Wazoo. Alabama looked solid against Florida, but we don't know how good Florida is. And Auburn got a very tough Thursday night road win in Manhattan, Kansas. It was very impressive, so they stay at number 4. Just outside, I'm keeping Oklahoma there. They had a nice win against a very good West Virginia team on the road. in the night in Morgantown. Tough place to play. They get a big win. Texas A&M keeps it rolling against SMU. Notre Dame has the bye, but they have a big game coming up this next weekend against Syracuse in East Rutherford, New Jersey. NASCAR at New Hampshire, Joey Logano gets a win in another thrilling race. So Joey Logano will advance on to the second round of the chase along with his teammate Brad Keselowski, who won last week at Chicago. So just a brief standings update, and the guy who really took a hit this past week has to be Jeff Gordon. He was in second in points. He was making a run up through the pack. He was up to 6th with about 8 laps to go, and he blows a tire and finishes 26th. Bad finish for Jeff. He drops to 7th in the points. And right now, the guys on the outside looking in are Denny Hamlin and Greg Biffle, who are 6 points out of a transfer spot. Kurt Busch, who is 8 out of a transfer spot. And Eric Almirola, who is just 10 out of a transfer spot. So it's going to be a wild last race of the Challenger round, then we'll head on to the Contender. So race 3 of the Challenger round next week at Dover, and that is going to be an exciting one to watch for sure. And just another shout out to Chip Ganassi Racing, as they had both Jamie McMurray and Kyle Larson once again running strong in that race. I think Larson finished 3rd. Just impressive performance. Kyle Larson's going to be a good racer someday. All right, Hunt for October standings update as we are into the final week of Major League Baseball season. Let's take a look at the standings. Baltimore has clinched the American League East. They are now just, it looks like, 3.5 back of the Angels for the best record in the American League. Or are they 2.5 back? 2.5 back in that one. Detroit still has a 1.5 lead over Kansas City for the Central. Kansas City plays today in Cleveland in a makeup game. Washington has clinched their division. St. Louis has clinched a playoff berth, hasn't yet clinched their division, and the Dodgers have clinched a playoff berth, but not their division, as they have a 4.5 game lead over the Giants. Wild card standings are still tight. Oakland has the #1 spot in the American League by a half game over Kansas City, and Seattle is a 1.5 back of the Kansas City Royals for that second wild card spot. And in the American League, this one's pretty much wrapped up. Pittsburgh now is tied with San Francisco for the top wild card spot in the National League. And that's just big because who's going to get that 1-game home playoff? And Milwaukee is fading 4.5 games back. So basically what to watch for this last week is going to be that National League wild card race. Who gets the better record and who will get to play at home? And it's going to be very similar in the American League as well, as this is only a half-game difference. And we'll see if Seattle can make a last-ditch charge to try and get into the playoffs as they start a big series at Rogers Center tonight. So that's going to be important series for sure to watch. All right, before we get on out of here, just some quick announcements for you. Wednesday we'll be back. We're going to do our NFL Power Rankings. We'll talk Heisman update. And I'm also going to break down the hunt for October and the future of the New York Yankees as we close the book on the Derek Jeter era this week. You can check me out on sportsmindednews.com. You can also follow me on Twitter at YankeeBaller415. This Saturday is a new premiere, Saturday, September 27th, with Mike Schumann. We're going to have Beyond the Upright. Okay, it's going to be my new weekend football show. Probably get on, talk 20 to 30 minutes football. Just going to have fun. I'm going to bring on a different guest each week. So this Saturday, September 27th, I'll release a time later on in the week. We're going to be going Beyond the Upright. Always remember to comment, questions, subscribe to my page. Thanks for tuning in to the Blog and Drill. I will be back on Wednesday. Have a good start to your work week.